As we move towards Avengers Doomsday, we may have learned where Doctor Strange currently is. Last we saw, Doctor Strange had gone to the Dark Dimension. He embarked on a major mission to prevent incursions occurring across infinite universes. However, since that day, no one has had any information about where Strange is. According to new revelations, I think we've learned where Strange currently is. The reason I say this is, we'll reportedly see a sorcerer using a sling ring alongside Doctor Doom in the film. This sorcerer will wear a mask for a significant portion of the film, and the mask will have a hole for a third eye. So just like we saw in Strange's last version, we're learning that he'll return. The real question here is, what happened to Strange and why is he working for Doom? What we understand from this is that while Strange was trying to prevent incursions between worlds, he was captured by Doctor Doom and somehow Doom turned him into his own man. In the comics, the reason for Strange switching sides was that he genuinely trusted Doctor Doom. According to the film, the reason for Strange switching sides might be some form of mind control. For the first time in an Avengers film, the team will have to fight Doctor Strange. So why did Doctor Doom capture Strange? Because what Doom wants is for these incursions to continue. When all planets are torn apart, Doom's powers will increase. All energy across the multiverse will be channeled to Doctor Doom. As a result, Doom will transform into his God Emperor Doom form, both bringing back his family and creating a new reality as he wishes. If Strange and Clea had prevented the multiverse incursions, Doctor Doom would have failed. Therefore, he needed to stop Strange and perhaps even benefit from him. If you remember, in my previous Doctor Strange 3 video, I showed you the concept designs released for Multiverse of Madness, and in these concept designs, the person people thought was Nightmare might actually be Doctor Doom. Perhaps what Marvel really wanted was to pit Doctor Doom against Doctor Strange. We already knew from leaked concept designs that Doctor Strange would be alongside Doom, but the real question people were curious about was, is it our Strange alongside Doom or another Strange? If they want to connect the story at this point, it should be our Strange alongside Doom. After all, Clea is a singular character in the multiverse and chose our Strange to stop the incursions. Since Strange was disrupting Doom's plans by preventing incursions, it's likely he enslaved him and took him to his side. The second possibility I don't want to see is this. I wouldn't be too surprised if Strange joined Doctor Doom entirely of his own free will and fought against the Avengers, but I still wouldn't want to see such a thing. If you ask why Strange might have joined Doom of his own free will, the backstory can't be explained just with words. Because right now, Strange will be one of the people who has observed these incursions most closely. He might think that incursions between universes can never be stopped, and even if they are stopped, it won't be a solution. If he comes to understand this, he might join Victor Von Doom of his own free will and say, destroy everything and let's start over. It would also make sense for the story to progress this way, because when Secret Wars begins, Strange will realize that this isn't a solution either, that Victor Von Doom is untrustworthy and will turn against him, and as a result, Victor will kill him too. In both scenarios, I can say this will be our Strange, but we don't currently know what kind of story will lead him to join Doom. Let me explain what this third eye does, and maybe you can make some guesses. The third eye that appeared on Strange's forehead emerged because he practiced dark magic and used the Darkhold. Thus, Strange gained the abilities of higher consciousness, absolute awareness, and seeing magical truth. Perhaps the third eye really has a significant influence on him joining Doctor Doom. Strange gains extra magical abilities, but generally the third eye in Marvel is related to wisdom. According to Odin, sometimes you can't see the truth even when you have two eyes. So can you see the truth when you have three eyes? Additionally, this eye emphasizes that everything has a price. Strange used dark magic to stop Wanda and was cursed as a result. This curse will show him truths he never wanted to accept. We probably won't see Strange joining Doctor Doom in Doomsday. I think they need to make a film explaining what happens before Doomsday or show small flashback scenes in Secret Wars. Because what happens just before the Doomsday film, if the rumors are true, will be much more valuable than the film's story itself. We currently know how Doom lost his family, or in which location these scenes take place, meaning they'll show this in the film. However, we don't know how he brought Doctor Strange to his side or who he attacked the TVA with to steal Loki's power. It's been said that Doctor Doom will have a team in the film, and it appears Strange will be part of this team. But the real question is, who else will be on the team? It's impossible for Doctor Doom to stand up to Loki and the TVA alone, but he can do it with a very powerful team. I wish Marvel would make a film explaining what happened before Doomsday right after the Doomsday film, but unfortunately they'll only start filming Secret Wars in August, and it would be amazing if they explain this in Secret Wars. However, currently no project explaining everything beforehand is planned. After Infinity War, everyone wanted a film about Thanos' youth. Marvel marketed the Eternals film saying they'd tell about Thanos' youth, then later backed out of that decision. It would be an exaggeration to expect Marvel, who didn't even tell about the events that shaped Thanos' youth and decisions, to explain what Doctor Doom experienced before this scene. In the comics, Strange, especially the classic Doctor Strange, had participated in wars lasting thousands of years in some events when he left Earth. His going to the Dark Dimension with Clea and living in an environment there independent of space-time confirms that similar things may have happened. So we no longer have our Doctor Strange in front of us. A man with 40 years of experience and a man with 5,000 years of experience are not the same man. His ideas, thoughts, and outlook on the world may have completely changed. Facing the multiverse reality completely changed even the viewers. I mean, did Iron Man die? I don't even care, because there are millions in other universes who are still alive and lived the same life as ours. Doctor Strange, living directly within this reality, may have risked destroying even his own universe after experiencing dozens of events that distort reality perception. The way to stop infinite incursions is to destroy everything and restart in a single order. Perhaps according to him, this is the absolute truth. But can the audience understand this? That's another topic. Many people have hated Strange since Endgame. There were those who complained about him choosing the only reality where Stark had to die or giving the Time Stone to Thanos instead of using it against him. Even his former colleague at the beginning of Multiverse of Madness asked him if he was sure that was the only way. Strange was seen as an enemy both in the world and in the audience's eyes. I don't think Marvel would needlessly drag him down further when they could redeem his reputation. Generally, according to Marvel, villains' stories progress like this. When an enemy emerges, they easily defeat the character previously known as the strongest. Then people become convinced that the new enemy is really very powerful. When they look closely at the events that shaped that enemy's motivation, they often agree with them. Doctor Doom's emergence, defeating Loki and taking his powers, and the explanation of what happened to him in the past shows that the Russo brothers will use the same formula at this point. The Russos generally portrayed Strange as an emotionless and realistic man. Unlike their own films, we know Strange isn't such an emotionless man. Therefore, we can think that his stance in Doomsday or Secret Wars will continue in the same way. And thus, friends, we've come to the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed the content I prepared. If there are other videos you want, don't forget to write in the comments. That's all from me for now. Take care, goodbye.